Well, here I am again. I really think that I might have to go. I really think I might have to go on a different, type of route with this channel I made. I made this channel called "In Quick We Trust," and I'm basically, making fun of the idea of Christian being God and whatnot. But I think what I need to do is uh, instead of going the Bruce Almighty route, which is what I wanted to do, what I wanted to do is I wanted to get all these people saying Christian was God and overwhelm him with discipline, right? Because if you're a God, thousands of people are asking you thousands of, prayers. They're giving you thousands of prayer requests every day, essentially. And so you, as God, have to make sure that all these things come true and everything, is working. Thy will be done, so to speak. But what I'm beginning to realize, and what AI has even told me, is that this idea is absolutely probably ridiculous. And what I need to do instead is I need to go the Billy Bob Neck route. And I love some of his music. Even though I do think that some of the things he says in the music he probably shouldn't say, because I do believe I do have a spiritual outlook in life, and he's just trying to make fun of Republicans, which I don't completely agree with, especially nowadays. Everybody, I guess, can have some absurdities about some of the things they believe in, but you got this kind of style of singing and whatnot. Jesus was born on a cold snowy day, and his message was love and to show us the way. If you don't believe that, one day you'll burn in hell, over and over and over again. Say peace on earth, goodwill toward all men, that sort of thing. um you know I am Magic my friend, and or something like that, and I could say America, or C197 or something like that, or I don't know. I don't know exactly what I would do, but I could run this into a ground a different way by doing the absurdity, like convincing the people that this character I came up with, Tony Vergewell, he he's you know he believes in Jesus, or he believes in Christian, but he's an insane person, versus he believes in Christian and he's sane, and he wants to you know and his agenda is to overwhelm Christian with power, right? So to ultimately, dethrone him. It's a lot like in that short I made, honestly. Uh, right, where Smokey's there, and he don't want me to give Christian the power, because it'll go to his head. But then I get to thinking, yeah, that's the whole that's it, isn't it? It'll go to his head, but if it goes to his head too much, it'll overwhelm him, right? He'll stop this shit. He'll stop thinking he's God. But I think an absurdist route might work better, because you're saying he's God, but you're also saying uh well, you gotta have the right kind of homos, because Christian created the homos, and if you're not the right kind of homo, you're a sicko, and you need to be killed off, or something like, what I'm saying, something like that, something insane, something that will actually get him to reflect on the absurdity of how insane a person would have to be in order to believe he's God in the first place, right? And I think if we had enough people doing that, that might actually work. That might actually, wake him up. Because I don't, I've gotten to the point where I honestly don't think, I don't know, I don't think we can Bruce Almighty this guy. where essentially, Bruce Almighty, right? He wanted to be God, and God let him be God, and so he was God. But then after that, everything started to go crazy, right? And he he basically destroyed everything, and he was a terrible person, a terrible God. Everything went to hell, and then he had to turn around, but then it overwhelmed him, and he gave it up. But that's not going to work for Christian. What I think is going to happen is we're going to have to make him God. We're still going to have to make him God. But everybody who believes in him is absolutely an insane person, right? Well, Tylenol is a holy thing, and everybody ought to take Tylenol, homos are good when Chris Chan says they're good. The thing about Donald Trump, we hate him, but he don't, you know what I mean, like things like that. I mean, we hate him, but it's his fucking his wife would be hot, and she would make a good trans man, right? Stuff like that, crazy, insane stuff like that. If we did that instead of this, this Bruce Almighty approach that's not going to work, maybe we could get into Chris Chan's head and finally wake him up.